The M60 machine gun, a beast of a weapon, roars through First Blood 1982 and Rambo First Blood Part 2 1985, embodying raw power in John Rambo's world. In First Blood, National Guardsmen lugged these 23-pound guns through Hope, Washington's dense forests, trying to corner one Green Beret, who knows the terrain better than they ever will. The guttural chatter of 7.62 to 51mm NATO rounds echoes through the trees, 500 to 650 rounds per minute that Rambo never fires back at them. He watches, he waits, he survives. Everything changes in First Blood Part 2 when Rambo seizes an M60 from a Vietnamese camp. Picture the scene, muscles taut, bandana soaked, tracer rounds lighting up the jungle as he cuts down soldiers and vehicles. Those 147 to 168 grain FMJ rounds punch through foliage at 1,100 meters effective range on a tripod, though Rambo wields it freehand like it weighs nothing. The belt-fed design keeps the punishment coming, no magazine changes, just sustained devastation. The M60 E3 model lists at US $6,000 for military contracts, but civilian versions hit different territory entirely. Under the National Firearms Act, transferable models run $40,000 minimum, with upgraded E4 or E6 variants reaching $65,000. At 43.5 inches long, this gas-operated veteran of Vietnam demands strength to control and wisdom to deploy. The M60 established Rambo's relationship with overwhelming firepower, setting up every weapon that follows. The M16A1 and M16A2 rifles, sleek and versatile, shine in First Blood 1982, arming John Rambo with precision and adaptability. Sheriff's deputies and National Guard carry these through Hope's forests, their 6.37 pounds and 38.8-inch frames navigating the undergrowth while Rambo turns their pursuit into his game. The 5.56 by 45mm NATO rounds, 55 to 62 grain FMJ snap through branches at 700 to 950 rounds per minute, yet they can't touch a ghost who learned jungle warfare when they were still in high school. Jump to Rambo Last Blood, and the M16A2 becomes Rambo's precision instrument defending his Arizona ranch. Each shot from concealed positions drops cartel fighters at distances up to 550 meters. The improved sights and burst fire mode let him engage multiple targets without wasting ammunition, surgical work compared to the M60's sledgehammer approach. Semi-auto AR-15 variants run $1,000 to $2,000 in today's market, while transferable full-auto M16s command $27,500 or more thanks to NFA restrictions. The direct impingement system keeps these rifles light and maneuverable, crucial when moving between cover points. The 5.56mm cartridge balances penetration with manageable recoil, allowing rapid follow-up shots. Vietnam birthed this design for mobility and accuracy, traits that serve Rambo whether he's evading capture in Washington or protecting family in Arizona. The gas system that made it controversial in the 1960s proves reliable in Rambo's experienced hands. The AKM and its variants, like the Mahdi and AKMs, are rugged, reliable rifles that define John Rambo's arsenal in Rambo First Blood Part 2, 1985. After escaping torture in Vietnam, Rambo strips an AKM from a Soviet advisor and turns it on his captors. The 7.62 die, 39mm rounds, 123 grain steel core, tear through jungle foliage while the rifle shrugs off mud and humidity that would choke more delicate weapons. In Afghanistan's dust and rocks during Rambo 3, the Egyptian Mahdi variant thrives where precision rifles would need constant cleaning. Rambo raids a Soviet base with an AKMs, its folding stock tucked for tight spaces, unleashing controlled bursts at 600 rounds per minute. The rifle keeps firing despite sand in every crevice. Mikhail Kalashnikov designed it for exactly these conditions. Semi-auto imports cost $800 to $1,200 today, testament to their worldwide proliferation. By 2008's Burma mission, Rambo mounts an AKM on a Jeep, the steady cyclic rate mowing down regime soldiers in monsoon conditions. At 6.8 pounds and 34.6 inches, it balances portability with firepower. The 350-meter effective range suits most engagements, while the gas-operated action cycles reliably whether the rifle's hot, cold, wet, or filthy. Each film shows the AKM earning its reputation. Simple enough for conscripts, reliable enough for Rambo. The Colt M1911A1 pistol, a timeless classic, takes the spotlight in Rambo 2008, embodying John Rambo's grit and precision. During Burma's chaos, Rambo draws this .45 ACP workhorse in village firefights where rifle-length weapons become liabilities. Those 230 grain FMJ rounds hit with authority, not fast at subsonic speeds, but when 230 grains of lead connects, velocity becomes academic. 7 rounds per magazine forces shot discipline, each trigger pull deliberate. The pistol's 39 ounces provide stability for rapid fire, while the grip safety and manual thumb safety prevent accidents in close quarters. Within 50 meters, the M1911A1 delivers fight-stopping power that lesser calibers can't match. Picture Rambo navigating a burning village. the checkered grip steady in his hand as he drops regime soldiers with single shots. Today's market offers M1911A1s from $400 for basic models to $1,500 for premium versions, reflecting nearly a century of continuous production. World War II proved this design in Pacific jungles not unlike Burma's terrain. The recoil-operated action cycles reliably despite moisture and dirt, while the all-steel construction survives abuse that would crack polymer frames. Rambo pairs it with heavier weapons during the film's climax, using the pistol to cover transitions between primary weapons. When rifles run dry or distances close to grappling range, the M1911A1 becomes the final argument. The M72LW rocket launcher, a lightweight game-changer, explodes onto the scene in Rambo First Blood Part 2, 1985, amplifying John Rambo's destructive power. One Soviet Hind helicopter learns why infantry shouldn't underestimate a single man with the right tool. The 66mm heat warhead designed for tanks works beautifully on aircraft. 5.5 pounds of disposable devastation that extends to 35 inches when ready to fire. Rambo shoulders the tube amid jungle chaos, steadying despite rotor wash and incoming fire. The rocket streaks toward the Hind at 200 meters, well within effective range, transforming the gunship into falling scrap metal. This single-shot nature means no second chances. You connect or you die. The launcher's simplicity reflects its Vietnam origins, where jungle fighters needed anti-armor capability without hauling recoilless rifles through swamps. Military exclusivity keeps these off civilian markets, though inert replicas fetch $500 to $1,000 for collectors chasing that Rambo aesthetic. The M72's 2.5 kilogram weight barely registers compared to carrying extra M60 belts, yet it provides instant armor-killing capability. Unlike sustained-fire weapons, the LW delivers one catastrophic punch then becomes deadweight. Rambo carries it knowing exactly when that single shot will count most, turning aerial superiority into burning wreckage with one squeeze of the trigger. The Browning M2 heavy machine gun, a titan of firepower, dominates in Rambo 2008, embodying John Rambo's unstoppable force. Mounted on a jeep in Burma's killing fields, this World War II veteran still delivers punishment 7 decades after its design. The .5 BMG rounds -700 grain armor-piercing punch through jungle, soldiers, and light vehicles alike at 450 to 600 rounds per minute. Each projectile carries enough energy to destroy whatever it touches out to 1,800 meters, with harassing fire possible to 6,800 meters. Picture Rambo gripping the spade handles, 84 pounds of gun responding to his touch as belt-fed destruction flows through the receiver. Bodies disappear in pink mist, trees shatter, and a regime's conscripts learn why the Ma-Deuce earned legendary status from Normandy to Mogadishu. The thunderous report drowns out screams and commands, turning organized resistance into panicked flight. Civilian semi-auto versions start at $10,000, climbing to $20,000 for quality builds. Transferable full auto examples hit $35,000 when they surface, assuming you navigate NFA requirements. The M2's longevity stems from simple perfection. John Browning's recoil-operated design needs no improvement. At 1,654 millimeters long, it demands vehicle mounting, but once emplaced, nothing within sight survives. The M2 transforms Rambo from soldier to force of nature, delivering industrial-scale violence to protect innocence. The DSJK heavy machine gun, a Soviet powerhouse, thunders through Rambo 3, 1988, amplifying John Rambo's relentless fight in Afghanistan's rugged terrain. The Mujahideen position this 75-pound beast where it can dominate approaches to their stronghold. Rambo takes the handles and sends 12.7 to Pleasant 108 rounds. The Soviet answer to .5 BMG, downrange at 600 rounds per minute. Light tanks that seemed invulnerable suddenly sprout holes, while infantry scatter from the distinctive hammer blow reports. At 64 inches long with 2,000 meters of effective range, the DSJK controls vast stretches of Afghan desert. The gas-operated action handles the dusty environment better than recoil-operated designs, cycling steadily through belt after belt. Those 700-grain armor-piercing rounds carry similar energy to the American M2's projectiles, but feed from different links, preventing ammunition interchange between captured weapons. The 34-kilogram weight sits lighter than the M2, though still demanding fixed positions or vehicle mounts. Rambo works the gun during desperate defensive stands, its deep roar echoing off canyon walls. Rare civilian legal examples exceed $50,000, putting them beyond most collectors' reach. The DSJK represents Soviet engineering philosophy, robust, effective, and utterly without compromise. Afghanistan's harsh conditions can't stop it, matching Rambo's own unstoppable nature. The M134 minigun, a whirlwind of destruction, tears through Rambo First Blood Part 2, 1985, as a prop version, embodying John Rambo's unrelenting fury. Helicopter-mounted during the POW rescue, this electric Gatling spins up to deliver anywhere from 2,000 to 6,000 rounds per minute of 7.62 big 51mm NATO. The prop version Hollywood rigged for the film captures the visual insanity of 6 rotating barrels spewing brass and lead, even if the actual cyclic rate gets trimmed for dramatic effect. Soviet camps evaporate under the stream of 147 to 168 grain projectiles, structures shredding like paper while vehicles spark and burn. The 85-pound weight and 31.5-inch length demand mounting systems, but from a door gun position, Rambo sweeps entire areas clean. At 1,000 meters effective range, nothing escapes the cone of destruction. Real transferable M134s exceed $200,000 when they appear at all, making them the ultimate restricted military hardware. The electrically driven rotation eliminates the gas operation delays of conventional automatic weapons. Vietnam crews learned to love the Mini's ability to suppress entire grid squares, though the ammunition consumption could empty a Huey storage in seconds. The film captures this perfectly. Overwhelming violence delivered so fast individual shots blur into a continuous roar. The HK MP5A3 submachine gun, a compact powerhouse, makes its mark in Rambo First Blood Part 2 1985, showcasing John Rambo's knack for close-quarters precision. Inside Vietnamese prison camps, the MP5A3's 9x20 19mm parabellum rounds drop sentries quietly compared to rifle calibers. At 800 rounds per minute, controlled bursts eliminate threats before alarms sound. The collapsible stock reduces length to mere inches over 2 feet, slipping through doorways and dense vegetation. German counterterrorism units chose this weapon for aircraft and building assaults, where overpenetration means dead hostages. Rambo applies the same logic to POW rescue minus precise violence instead of indiscriminate firepower. The 5.6-pound weight barely registers after humping an M60 through jungle, while the proven roller-delayed blowback action ensures reliability in humidity that rusts lesser weapons. Civilian semi-auto clones run $1,500 to $3,000, capturing the MP5 mystique without select fire capability. The 200-meter effective range covers most camp engagements, while subsonic ammunition options enable suppressed operations. Rambo works through structures methodically, the MP5A3 barking short bursts that eliminate resistance while maintaining momentum. Each trigger pull delivers exactly the violence required, no more, no less. The SVD Dragunov sniper rifle, a precision instrument, was intended for Rambo 3 1988, but ended up in cutscenes, leaving its legacy in John Rambo's arsenal as a nod to his sharpshooting prowess. Production still show Rambo with the rifle in Afghanistan, though final editing removed these sequences. The 7.62 Alzer 5e4mm R cartridge, Russia's oldest military round still in service, pushes 152 grain projectiles to 800 meters through the PSO-1 scope's distinctive reticle. Semi-automatic operation allows rapid engagement of multiple targets without breaking cheek weld, while the gas system handles temperature extremes from Arctic cold to desert heat. At 9.5 pounds across 48 inches, it carries easily for a precision rifle yet provides a stable platform for distance work. The chrome-lined barrel survives corrosive ammunition common in Soviet supplies, maintaining accuracy through extended firefights. Civilian variants like the PSL or Tigru run $5,000 to $8,000, offering Warsaw-packed aesthetics with match-grade potential. Had the scene survived editing, audiences would have seen Rambo picking off Soviet officers from concealed positions, each shot guided by the PSO-1's range-finding reticle. The rifle's absence from the final cut leaves viewers imagining what surgical strikes Rambo might have delivered across Afghanistan's valleys. Winchester Model 1892. This lever-action legend channels the spirit of the frontier in Rambo Last Blood 2019, fitting John Rambo's relentless defense of his Arizona ranch. John Browning's design from the 1890s meets Mexican cartel violence in underground tunnels Rambo carved beneath his property. The .4440 WCF cartridge drops men through cover at 150 meters, while the lever action cycles fresh rounds faster than bolt guns. At 6.5 pounds and 37.4 inches, the carbine configuration moves through tight spaces where longer weapons snag. Rambo works the lever with practiced smoothness, brass cases ejecting as he advances through his maze of traps. The tube magazine holds enough rounds for most encounters, though speed-loading techniques keep him supplied during extended fights. Used examples fetch around $1,000 today, assuming you find originals among the sea of replicas. The same action that tamed the American frontier now defends Rambo's home. Wood and steel construction survives abuse that would crack synthetic stocks, while the exposed hammer allows careful letdown when violence passes. Each shot echoes through tunnels. Benelli M3 Super 90. This 12-gauge powerhouse defines Rambo's relentless defense in Rambo Last Blood 2019. The convertible action switches between pump and semi-auto modes depending on ammunition and tactical needs. Slugs weighing 400 to 500 grains hit like sledgehammers within 40 meters, while buckshot patterns destroy anything in hallways. At 7.7 pounds across 41 inches, it dominates close-quarters battle. Rambo toggles modes based on terrain, semi-auto for rapid room clearing, pump action for reliability with specialty rounds. The Italian engineering shines through tunnels where malfunctions mean death. Cartel soldiers advance into buckshot patterns that leave no survivors, while slugs punch through improvised cover. The ghost ring sights acquire targets instantly in low light, crucial for tunnel fighting. Market price runs $1,000 to $1,500 for this elite shotgun, reflecting Benelli's military contracts worldwide. The M3 bridges sporting and tactical worlds, equally comfortable hunting deer or clearing buildings. In Rambo's hands, it becomes the final defensive line, delivering measured violence to protect what remains of his family. Hoyt Compound Bow. In Rambo First Blood Part 2, 1985, this bow, loaded with explosive-tipped arrows, makes John Rambo a stealthy predator. The compound pulley system generates speeds impossible with traditional bows. Real arrows weigh 400 to 500 grains, flying true to 50 to 70 meters for hunting, though Hollywood extends this dramatically. Vietnam's jungles witness Rambo's bow work first. A guard tower explodes from a single arrow, demonstrating how silence multiplies force when surprise matters. The 4.4-pound weight and 31-inch frame move through vegetation without snagging. Unlike rifles that announce position with every branch scraped, draw weights of 50 to 70 pounds drive arrows through body armor at close range, though the explosive tips remain pure fiction. Afghanistan brings helicopter kills that defy physics but thrill audiences. Real Hoyt bows cost $300 to $1,000 depending on accessories and vintage, accessible to hunters wanting Rambo's primal weapon. The bow represents Rambo's Native American training, his ability to kill without gunpowder's signature. Each arrow flies with intention, whether delivering explosives or broadheads, proving technology can't replace skill.